Filing systems. What is filing? According to Gill, 1988, filing is a process of records control. It is arranging anything in a methodical manner. A key activity in the management of current records is maintaining a good filing system. Doing so includes the following steps. Maintaining control over the documentation used to record the creation, use, and disposal of current records, such as registers and logs. Systematically managing the creation and handling of records, such as correspondence, mail, and forms. Managing the creation and use of files. Ensuring the regular transfer of records from current to semi-current storage and the destruction of obsolete records. Filing may also be described as the process of arranging and storing records so that they can be located when required. Filing involves storing letters, carbon copies, reports, and other documents in folders, binders, drawers, and cabinets especially designed for the purpose. Smallest grouping of records is called a file unit. This is represented by a folder. Each transaction should be represented by separate file units. Action here refers to a series of activities taken to accomplish a task. The purpose of filing. Filing serves a number of functions in offices. These include the following: to keep records in safe custody, to keep records clean, to keep the office tidy, and most importantly, to ensure that records can be found without delay whenever they are required. The efficiency of any filing system is judged by the speed with which records can be found. In other words, a good filing system is a quick record retrieval tool. How filing is done. Among the essential elements of good filing practices are the following. Files should not be too bulky. For paper files, the maximum recommended load for each file folder is 300 pieces of paper. It is therefore advisable to give folio numbers to the filed letters, i.e., 1 to 300. When the file reaches 300 pieces, that file folder should be closed and a new file opened. The second file will be identified as Volume 2. All files should have an index. To facilitate location and retrieval of records from the filing cabinets, all files should have an index. For instance, the Institute of Distance Education at UNZA would have a simple and flexible filing index as follows. UNZA/IDE/1 loan agreements. UNZA/IDE/2 contracts. UNZA/IDE/3 projects, etc. The filing system should be easy to operate. The system should be such that other people should be able to find records from the filing system even in the absence of the owner of the office or the person in charge of keeping records. How to reduce your filing workload. The first step in developing an effective filing system is to determine what should and should not be filed. Observance of the following filing tips or rules will go a long way in reducing some of the filing problems. Rule number 1. Keep your desk clean. Once you start building up piles of papers on your desk, it becomes difficult to find anything and important items may get lost. Filing should be done at a specific time each day. In this way, the filing will not accumulate in the filing tray until the pile is so big that nobody wants to do it. Rule number 2. Establish a schedule for filing. It is important to establish a specific schedule for filing. For instance, you may set aside half a day every 2 weeks or once a month for filing. Having a schedule will enable you to concentrate on the job at hand. It will also give you the opportunity to trap duplicate records, which can be thrown away instead of filing them twice. Rule number 3. Set up a hold or pending file. Set up a hold or pending file for papers that are not important enough to warrant immediate filing. If your supervisor wants you to decide on what records to discard, then set aside a regular time, e.g., once a month or every fortnight, to go through your hold file. Scan through everything and discard any item that is dead or no longer of use. If your supervisor wants to make the save or discard decision, then ensure that she is given the hold file on a regular basis, again, monthly or fortnightly, so that they can go through everything in one sitting. Alternatively, you can go through the hold file together with your supervisor. If your supervisor will review the hold file on her own, then they should indicate which records are for discarding and those for filing should be noted. On the other hand, where you have a free hand in deciding what to keep and discard, it is important that you consult with your supervisor once you have made your selections. Rule number 4. Make separate work trays and hold files for each supervisor. If you are working for more than one supervisor, then create a separate work tray and hold file for each one of them for the records going to and emanating from each of them. This will greatly reduce the number of papers you have to go through when you need something. Make sure that you know how each of your supervisors wants you to handle records. Rule number 5. Keep an end basket either on your desk or near it. In this way, you will avoid anyone dropping papers all over your desk. You could also set up separate baskets for in, out, typing, filing, etc. Rule number 6. Welcome technological change. More and more organizations are replacing the traditional typewriter with newer and more efficient word processing machines such as computers. The information that used to be stored in paper files is now saved in electronic form on disks. Do not resist adopting the new technologies that result in better and efficient management of records. Rule number 7. Never stop searching for ways to improve your system. Organizations are dynamic institutions where ideas change and ways of doing things also change. What was good or worked for the organization in the past may not necessarily be true today because conditions change. It is important, therefore, to keep abreast of trends in your environment. Check with others and find out how they have solved the problems that you may be facing. Rule number 8. Have a filing manual. Prepare a filing reference manual that documents all the essential features of your filing routines. Include all the do's and don'ts of filing in your office. In addition to maintaining consistency and uniformity in filing routines, the manual can also be used in training new people in filing. Filing equipment. Having established the best system of filing for your office, you then consider the equipment required for the purpose. In Zambia, the 4-drawer filing cabinets are the most commonly used in offices. Other filing requisites include folders and binders. In general, use appropriate filing equipment for each type of record, i.e., electronically generated records will require different filing media from paper records. Labeling of files and filing cabinets. For ease of location, identification, and retrieval, files and the filing cabinets should be clearly labeled. If the labeling is to be affixed to the files or cabinets, it is important to ensure that the labels do not come off easily from the files or filing cabinets. Activity 8. Examine the filing practices in your organization. Ask yourself the following questions. Is the filing system precise? In other words, is there only one logical place to file papers, or are there several places where papers could be filed? Is the filing system based on logical, common-sense structures? For example, is the coding system understandable or could it be improved? Does the filing system allow for expansion or is it less flexible?